It's now time for the Reverse Sports full game recap. We'll go all the way back November the 11th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Denver, Colorado to face off against the Avalanche. Head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his lines defensemen in the following ways for the first of the CMA road trip games. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Stamkos, Marchessault, Sissons, and Nyquist, Evangelista, Parsonen, and Tomasino, Smith, McCarron, and LaRue, Shea and Yossi, Luzon and Carey, Del Gaizo, and Shen make up your defense pairings. That UC Saros gets the start in goal. We are 1 minute and 45 seconds into the first period, and we find Luke Evangelista scoring for the first action of the game, his second goal of the season, as he pulls the rebound out and then fires it right back into the wide open net, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead against the Colorado Avalanche early on in this game. We hit the 2:51 mark of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on McKinnon. The puck would trickle through, but it would trickle wide of the post. The Nashville Predators catch a break right here. UC Saros coming up with a big save early in this game. At the 4:37 mark of the first period, it's Georgiev coming up with a save on Phil Tomasino. At 8:41 of the first period, it's Georgiev coming with a save on Jonathan Marchessault. At 10:46 of the first, we find our first special teams scenario when Steven Stamkos goes off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. I wasn't quite sure where or when the tripping penalty happened. I'm sure it must have, but the broadcast didn't seem to catch it, nor were they aware of it, so we move on. The Predators only give up one shot on goal. It's a very strong penalty kill. That shot on goal ended up being a save by UC Saros on Middlestat, and again, the Preds did a good job against a very high offensive threat power play. 13:42 of the first period, Georgiev comes with a save on Philip Forsberg. Good heavy wrist shot here by Phil Forsberg. 15:34 now at the first, it's Georgiev coming with a save on Luke Evangelista. At 19:17 of the first, it's Georgiev coming up with a save on Steven Stamkos. The follow-up by O'Reilly. Great scoring chance by the Predators in the final minute of the first period. The Preds would outshoot the Colorado Avalanche at the end of 20 minutes, 12-6, and largely the Predators would outplay the Colorado Avalanche in the first period. We move after the intermission to the clean sheet of the second period, and we find it 50 seconds in. It's Georgiev coming with a save on Jonathan Marchessault. At 1:34 of the second period, UC Saros coming with a save on DeHaan. At 2:28 of the second period, it's LaRue off to the box. 2 minutes for cross-checking, and this seemed to invigorate the Colorado Avalanche because their power play is about to wake up and UC Saros is about to have to clock in. First, coming with a save on McKinnon, then a save on Rantanen. That's enough, right? But then comes up with a big save on Middlestat as well. And as the power play is expiring, so not technically a power play goal, but honestly on the continuation still with the extra attacker, Taves gets his first goal of the season. It was a long shot that went off of Sissons out high and then into the net. So the Colorado Avalanche tie it up after a very electric power play. 1 second later, they get the goal. 6:09 now of the second period, and it's McKinnon hitting the post as the Colorado Avalanche are now awake and roaring. 7:05 of the second period, UC Saros coming with the save on Rantanen at the 11:37 mark of the second period. It is Rantanen picking up his 9th goal of the season, and the Nashville Predators are getting pushed around in Denver now, falling behind 2-1 in the second period. The 11:59 mark of the second period, it's Kivarant off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This allows the Nashville Predators to take a deep breath, get back on a little bit of offense, and we find Georgiev coming with a save on Forsberg while shorthanded, and then another big-time save on Jonathan Marchessault. That would do it for the Preds' power play, but they were able to generate some zone time and scoring opportunities. At the 14:19 mark of the second period, UC Saros comes with a save on Middlestat. At 18:41 of the second period, it's Georgiev coming with a save on McCarron, plus the follow-up by the captain, Roman Josi. Again, the Predators here at the end of the period, just like the end of the first period, coming up with some good scoring chances. In 19:33, Georgiev one more big save on Marchessault. The Preds pressuring at the end of the second period, out shooting Colorado 26-15 after 40 minutes of play. We are into the third period. We are only 58 seconds in, and the Predators continue that momentum that they picked up at the end of the second period into the clean sheet of the third period, and we find ourselves at the 58-second mark with Colton Sissons picking up his second goal of the season. The captain, Roman Josi, skated it around. It was Sissons who kept it in the zone initially, handed it off to Josi. Josi skates it around the left side of the zone, does all of the work, and sets up Colton Sissons for an easy finish on the weak side, tying the game up at 2 apiece. apiece. Georgiev then has to come up with a save on Shea at the 3:02 mark as the Predators continue going to work. But then the Colorado Avalanche get their skates back under them, tilt the ice back the other way, and at 5:43 of the third, we find UC Saros coming with a save on McKinnon's wraparound opportunity. A couple of different wraparound opportunities in this game by Colorado. 6:44 of the third period, Saros comes up with a save on Kiviranta, plus the follow-up right there by O'Connor. 9:06, another save on O'Connor. It was a lengthy sequence where UC Saros would end up stopping O'Connor from getting the go-ahead goal numerous times. The 9:40 mark of the third period, it's ranting it off the box. 2 minutes for boarding. I believe Michael McCarron might have gotten the phantom penalty call right here. They did review it, and they did award a penalty for it, but did not see much contact there. 0 shots on goal for the Predators power play. Maybe that's the karma for selling to get the power play, but Predators don't get a lot done right there, so we find ourselves back at even strength at 13:27 in the third period when UC Saros comes up with another save on McKinnon. 15:14, Saros a save on Ivan, and 17:39 of the third period is Georgiev coming with a save on Yossi's backhand after he cut across the slot and had everybody out of the play. This is the down-and-out desperation save that you can't really put any skill on. It is just staying with it, staying alive, and doing just enough. Yossi did get some lift on the puck, but just not enough. So Georgiev holds the tie right here at 17:39 of the third period. And this truly is probably going to be one of the plays of the week. An incredible save. Even if it was down and out and desperate, still an incredible moment. The Colorado Avalanche fans were losing their minds over this one, and you should. 18:58 of the third period, Saros comes up with the save on Kelly's backhand. That'll do it for regulation. So each team comes up with a point. Each netminder in this game was spectacular at different moments and different times when their team needed them. And the Preds do find a way to come back in the third period and tie the game to get a point in the first game of the 5-game CMA road trip. Nashville outshoots Colorado 31-34 regulation. We hit the 3-on-3 overtime, and we found ourselves at the 109 mark of the overtime session when Georgiev comes up with a save on Nyquist from the slot. Good job by Gus Nyquist. Moved laterally just a couple of strides and got a good look from the slot area. 123 of the overtime session, Saros comes up with a save on McKinnon, and then the Predators would have a lengthy time of possession for the next minute and a half, and they would loop, they would swoop, they would move out of the zone, they'd move back into the zone, and finally it catches up to them as Brady Shea loses an edge out by the blue line, and former Nashville Predators defenseman Samuel Girard takes off. It's a partial breakaway. I say partial only because Shea got a stick on him from behind at the last second, even though it had no effect. Girard finishes this game off with his first goal of the season. 2 players in this game scoring the first goal of the season against the Predators. It's classic Nashville Predators hockey. So Girard scores the overtime game-winning goal for Colorado after Shea falls down, and the breakaway leads to the finish. The Colorado Avalanche win this game 3-2 in overtime on home ice. They outshoot the Nashville Predators 32-31. Listen, the Preds fought back in the third period. They got a point. Roman Josi had the chance to finish that one off, but Georgiev just robs him with a couple of minutes to go at the end there. And then the Nashville Predators with the lengthy possession. They had the defense worn down. They had them seemingly where they wanted them, but you lose your balance for just a hack quarter of a second in the NHL, and it goes the other way for a breakaway. Those are the breaks. Brady Shea, I'm sure, is very unhappy with that moment happening with his brand new team with the Nashville Predators. Tough way to lose a point, but the Preds, UC Saros was strong. The Preds came back, earned a point on the road, first of 5 on this CMA road trip. The Preds can keep adding points. They'll be more successful, and they'll find themselves out of last place. That's what they need to do. That's going to do it for the 3 River Sports full game recap, full analysis, box score, more coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.